Honorable Men Discord, Yavel. Let's talk about it. I feel like I just mentioned Kanye. I mentioned Tupac. I mentioned Lauryn Hill for being great entertainers that happen to be Gemini like myself. But I guess today's story is no matter who you may admire for whatever they do, whether it's an artist for how they perform, how they dance, athletes, how they play on court, how they hit a baseball, how they throw a football, how they catch a football. Everyone is subjected to some form of evil. Now, I thought I put some thought into this because I don't want to make this about attacking Kanye because I think it's clear that Kanye needs some type of therapy if he hasn't already gone to therapy. But it's clear Kanye just doesn't know how to withhold certain information and keep it private. Now, some may be rejoicing. I know there's a community that's going to be rejoicing. He's speaking his truth. I know there's going to be people, they can't wait to break out the signs. He's speaking his truth. But in the age of Twitter turned X, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, if people still use Snapchat, I don't know what everyone's using out there because I'll be honest with you, I'm literally down to just YouTube and maybe Instagram to promote this channel, but we're not talking about me right now. Why does everyone feel the need to pour themselves out on social media for some form of help or validation? Right? I don't even know what to call this from Kanye. I really don't, because he's just been on a never-ending campaign, no like no other. A never-ending campaign like no other. Um, you know, I was all for it with the gimmick of the Ku Klux Klan black outfit. I know some people were completely against it. I saw some channels speaking against it. Um, but it was clearly not the KKK outfit. But I could be wrong for even liking that episode. I just liked his honesty and that he just doesn't hold back. But I guess I would have to like this too, right? It's almost a contradiction. I liked his honesty when he was speaking with academics about how he felt about certain people in entertainment. Maybe it was just great because I know Kanye, his energy and the things he says is comical, but I guess it's not comical. I guess it's not meant to be a joke because this is someone who's definitely having some type of breakdown. I could only assume it's some type of breakdown. I don't know what is going on, but it even brought down my energy in doing this episode because I'm just like, what exactly am I reading here? So if you don't know, Ye on his X said he's talking about some song that he has called Cousins. Now, first of all, I don't even know what happened to the Bully album, which I was looking forward to listening to. I don't know if there was some type of issue with Apple where they didn't release the album, or it's just streaming on other platforms on YouTube. I have to find that album. But he skipped over Bully and he's talking about some album called World War something. Um, and here he is talking about a song called Cousins, which I'm assuming is part of that new project, the WW World War album. But in any event, Ye posts, this song is called Cousin, about my cousin that's locked up in jail for life for killing a pregnant lady a few years after I told him we wouldn't look at dirty magazines together anymore. Perhaps in my self centered mess, I felt it was my fault that I showed him those dirty magazines when he was 6, and then we acted out what we saw. My dad had Playboy magazines, but the magazines I found in the top of my mom's closet were different. My name is Ye, and I'm not even going to say the rest of it. You can read it for yourself. All right? Now, At one point, I thought he and Bianca were on the road to divorce, but it seems like from the post on his ex, let me get this up there. He has a post with her, and from her post, um, this is what Bianca Censori had to say about her husband. She said, "I'm heartbroken as someone so close to Kanye West. Seeing his recent post shattered something in me. I admire his courage to speak on such deep, painful truths that might help parents watch their children more closely. But some wounds deserve healing in private. I agree. Not every scar needs to be exposed to the world. Yes, Kanye West had a troubled childhood, and it hurts knowing he carried that pain for so long, but wish he kept this one to himself. Not for shame, but for protection. For himself and his family, pain shared is powerful, but not every secret is for public consumption. I'm still trying to process it all." One thing I can say, I don't know her personally. I know some might look at her as just someone who's with him for the money. Whether that's true or not, I'm not here to talk about that. I can appreciate her post. It seems genuine in what she said, and I agree with what she said. Um, for his protection, and not everything is for public consumption. I don't know where we go from here. What's next, Kanye? What is next? And I'm not here bashing Kanye, but you know, what's your thoughts? Anyone watching this, what's your thoughts on this? I don't really know what to think about this other than the fact that, he needs therapy. He's definitely needs therapy, as many of us may need therapy also, but Kanye, you have a daughter, you have kids. I mean, if you want to share that with them in private, you know, I guess that's your choice as a parent, but the public, I don't know what to think about this. I'm not about to cast judgment on this. I'm just reporting this. I reluctantly reported this because I'm like, it's disturbing. But this is just one of those things. How could you not report it when it's Kanye West? And it's one of those things that, I mean, I don't even know. I really don't know. What's your thoughts in the comments? We could talk about it in the comments if you care to talk about this. I just personally feel like he should have just discussed this with a therapist. Does anyone believe therapy works? That's a question I have for those of you who watch this episode. Do you believe therapy works? Um, the best solution to me is reaching out to the man above, and whether or not any of my viewers believe that, it's the best thing that's worked for me. But that's what works for me. I can only suggest it, but I'm not here to force it on anybody. But that would be the first choice, is talking to the man above. Now, for those that don't believe, therapy. But the last thing to ever do, in my opinion, is sharing that type of information on social media. It doesn't even matter if you're a, a well-known entertainer or athlete or an everyday person. I would refrain from going on social media with that type of information. But that's my thought on this. I don't have much to say on this. It's quite disturbing, and yeah, it was a downer for me. It was a downer for me, but it's not about me. This is Kanye's life, and I guess he feels free at this point. So if he feels a little bit better getting that off of his chest, then so be it. Then I could respect that. But I don't have anything else to say on this matter. As always, I appreciate everyone for tuning in. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next episode. Take care.